Okay, on this Chapter 5 test, you're also going to have some algebra problems. You guys have become masters at solving algebra problems using, using tables. And you can absolutely go about these problems using tables. I'm going to show you the problem using simple algebra using blocks, because this is a good skill to have as a backup. And I'll show you a couple problems where it will especially come in handy. I'll probably put 3 problems up here. Starting with the problem, Mr. T is on a crazy workout plan. He does push-ups for 7 straight, he does push-ups every day for 7 days. Every day he does 3 more push-ups than the previous day. At the end of the week, Mr. T does 217 push-ups. How many push-ups does he do each day? This is the type of a problem that would be a little bit tedious if you're using a table, because you're talking about 7 days. So instead, we're going to be using a block model with labels. So he does push-ups every day for 7 days. So you have to think day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. So let me throw this out here, and let's let this represent day 1. Day 2, he will be doing the same number as day 1, except the problem says that every day he does 3 more push-ups than the previous day. So it's going to be whatever he did day 1 plus 3. And we're going to go and do that for basically every day here. Day 3 is going to be the same number, except now, instead of just adding 3, it's 3 more than the previous day. So if day 2, he did box plus 3, then on day 3, it's going to be box plus 6. And I think you're getting the idea here. And this will make the problem very simple. Day 4, it's just going to be box now plus 9. Day 5, we're going to do box plus 12. We've made it to day 6. Day 6 will be, got an extra label in there. Day 6 will be box plus now 15. And our final day, day 7, if he does 3 more than the previous day, then it will be box plus 18. And all of this totals $217. How many does he do each day? So in essence, you have to go and look here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes plus. And let's figure out everything that we added here. You might need to do a little work on the side. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I'm going to add these all up, and I'll start with the biggest, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3, 8, 10, 19, 22, 28, and 33. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that totals 63. So I'm going to, let me just move all of these out of the way here. Because what we have then is 7 boxes plus 63 equals 217. And using the properties of balance in algebra, we're going to trade away 63 from both sides. So it's like we have a 0 here, and we can throw this in the trash. And I'm going to erase all of my work. And I'm also going to have to then trade away 63 from 217, because whatever I do to one side, I must do to the rest. So I'm going to subtract 63, and I'll do this off to the side. 217 minus 63 is 4. I'm having difficulty writing here. That's a 4. And that's an 11 minus 6 is 5. And 154. So then I have 7 boxes is now balanced with 154. And that becomes a problem very similar to what we've had on the last test, which is now 7 boxes equals 154. What can you do to solve this if you don't know division? You could think 7 times 10 equals 70. So 7 times 20, going to be doubling both sides. If 10 groups of 7 is 70, then 20 groups will be 140. And we need 14 more, so it's 7 times 22 equals 154. And you could test that out on the side to prove that. But to go from 140 to 154, I needed 14 more, and that's 2 groups of 7. So that means the first day then, on day 1, he does 22. And then it would be 25, 28, 31, 34, 37, and 40. And if this were a test, I would add all of that up and make sure that I did it correctly. I'm going to reset the board, and let's just do one more problem using these blocks, or you can use a table for this type of problem. This one is more conducive to use a table, and you'll definitely be able to get it in 3 steps. The difference between a number and 5 times the number is 24. What are the 2 numbers? And go about and solve this using a block model or a table, whichever you're more comfortable with. All right, press play. You should have solved it by now. The difference between a number and 5 times the number is 24. This is a very simple problem to use with blocks, because let's just throw this out. Let's let this represent the number, and the difference between that number and 5 times the number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is 24. Well, to use this with blocks, very simply, look at the difference here. What's the difference between the number and 5 times the number? This is the difference. Well, that difference is 24, which means each block must be 6. 6, 12, 18, 24. So what are the 2 numbers? We're talking about 6 and 30. Now, if you use the table, you would put number 1, which is 5, or number 1 and number 2, which is 5 times number 1. And the difference, because that's when you know you found your answer, is at 24. And once again, I'm having some difficulty writing. But you could try it. You would try, for example, 2 and 10, but that only gives a difference of 8. Let's try 3 and 15. That gives a difference of 12. So every time you increase by 1, the difference goes up by 4. And you want the difference to be 24. So that is got to be 6 higher. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. To go for, if you want the difference, if the difference right now is 12, you want the difference to be 24. And every time you add, so you want the difference to be 12 more than it is. Every time you go up 1, the difference increases by 4. So you're going to need to get 3 higher. So that's going to be 6 and 30, and that difference would be 24. That's a perfectly acceptable way to solve it as well. Just to refresh you on some algebra, there will be a couple problems like this on the test. Not too tricky, but choose your strategy and be comfortable using the blocks with it as well.